Coming up on AFN Pacific Report, a ceremony honors Korean and American Vietnam veterans, classes prepare soldiers for tax filing, and airmen chill in the hills with a resilience program at Misawa. Thanks for joining us for this edition of your AFN Pacific Report. I'm Staff Sergeant Mike Larman. During the Vietnam War, the Republic of Korea became one of America's greatest allies, sending more combat troops than any other. Army Sergeant Mark Brea reports from a ceremony where the two allied nations honored heroes on the conflict's 50th anniversary.
A sailor rings the bell, a tradition normally welcoming distinguished guests on board a ship, but this time to the Command Fleet Activities Chinhae Gymnasium. People fill in the seats to thank and honor the American and Korean veterans of the Vietnam War.
Let us remember that it is never too late to pay tribute to the men and women who answered the call of duty with such courage and honor.
The ceremony commemorates the 50th anniversary since U.S. forces arrived in Vietnam. During the ceremony, both U.S. and Korean Vietnam veterans listen as speakers come to thank them.
Actually, this is the first time the event is happening. That's why I was so glad and thankful when I heard this news. I appreciate the veterans and U.S. Navy for attending this event. Thank you.
The ceremony came to an end, but not before the official party revealed the Vietnam War 50th anniversary commemorative flag.
In many cases, our veterans continue to serve their countries and their communities in all kinds of ways, and it's just wonderful that they continue to do so. So thank you.
Army Sergeant Mark Brea, Commander Fleet Activities Chinhae, Korea.
Volunteers around the region are hard at work in base tax centers to help you file your taxes. Soldiers like those at Korea's Camp Henry get hands-on training to help them put money back in service members' pockets.
Every year it happens. Tax season arrives and the tax center opens. The USAG Daegu Legal Center brings in junior enlisted soldiers like Private Nicole Archer to learn tax preparation skills.
Now I can actually start doing my taxes. I don't have to send them home for my mother to do them. I'm only a private, so I didn't know all the benefits I can get. Definitely it will help me down the long run.
Private Archer is a latecomer to the tax course, having found out on short notice that she would be training as a tax preparer.
She is a star student. She has really honed in on her skills. She's been reading the material, and I can tell that she has.
This is the first year that Private Archer has filed taxes, not just for the tax center, but for herself as well. I'm Sergeant Puma Perry, Camp Henry, Korea.
You've got the right answer.
This month we celebrate Black History. For a Chief Master Sergeant at Kunsan Air Base, speaking at a recent Martin Luther King Day event was more than a chance to remember the civil rights hero's legacy, but also to reflect on the decades of progress made for African Americans since.
In honor of Martin Luther King Day, Kunsan came together to celebrate diversity, and for Chief Master Sergeant Paul S. Thomas Jr., it was especially meaningful.
Initially coming in, I came in the military in 1989, and I had a sense of how hard it was to be successful in any environment, especially being an African American. So we have come a long way. We still got a ways to go, but we've made strides.
Strides that brought airmen from across the base to recreate the March on Washington.
It brought a sense of pride that even in the cold weather, that people will come out and support an event, support each other, rally together. I can't wait until we no longer have events like this. That in America, I'm no longer looked as being an African American, but I'm just looked as being an American. I would love it when we in our country will start calling each other American.
Senior Airman Elizabeth Toronto, Kunsan Air Base, Korea.
Installations around the Pacific are prepared to deal with potential evacuations. Sailors at Fleet Activities Sasebo can be confident their families are in good hands with the experience gained in NEO exercises.
Disaster can strike at any moment, and evacuating loved ones to a safe place is priority. Members of Fleet Activities Sasebo conducted the Non-Combatant Evacuation Operation Drill, or NEO, to prepare non-essential personnel and their families in case of an evacuation.
Families or other service members that don't need to be here can be evacuated so that anything that happens, we have our crew still on base, but non-combatants can escape.
Members of CFAS registered their information in the NEO tracking system. Representatives from around CFAS, including housing and security, passed out vital information needed in case of an evacuation.
It's great. I'm glad that the command unit is getting organized to do this because you never know when we'll have to evacuate in case of an emergency.
Thanks to the volunteers, command, and emergency management office, the CFAS community can rest assured knowing that they are prepared to react in case of an emergency. Petty Officer Gabriel Kotiko, Fleet Activities, Sasebo, Japan.
America's service members take an oath to put the needs of others before their own. The Wing Resilience Program at Misawa Air Base reminds service members to set aside time for themselves.
It's a crisp, sunny day at the Hachimantai Ski Resort, where some Misawa airmen are on a trip, shredding some northern Japanese powder. But what separates this trip from others in Misawa is that thanks to the Wing Resilience Program, none of these airmen paid a single cent to be here.
The idea is to give our airmen a chance at no cost of their own to kind of, when they're off on the weekends, to kind of get out and mentally recharge their batteries, take a break from work. Socially, they get to go out and hang out with their fellow airmen, their fellow friends, do things that are already guided, set up, to be able to get out and experience life in Japan away from Misawa Air Base.
The team at the Outdoor Rec, with money allocated to the base for resilience efforts, designs and organizes these trips. The only thing left is filling the seats with deserving airmen, which falls on the shoulders of the first sergeants across Misawa.
I look at the people that are my hard workers that maybe haven't had the opportunity to get off base yet. We're asking them to do more with less every day. And what I think this does is we show them, hey, we appreciate it, and please take some time off because we need you back that Monday morning stronger than when you left on Friday. And I think that's important for their welfare.
And for the airmen selected, this is more than just a free trip to the slopes.
It's great. It's a great way to get airmen out together. I've met people that I've never seen before. It's great for making new friends and having a good time together. It's been a great time and I really appreciate it.
It's definitely a great experience and the value is phenomenal. It encourages people to get out there, see different things of Japan. You know, there's so much more to do than sit at home or sit in the dorms. I think it really makes the time spent here so much more worthwhile.
Being overseas is a unique experience, but sometimes the easiest thing to do after a long week at work is to spend the weekend at home. So with the help of the Outdoor Rec and programs like Wing Resilience, Misawa is trying to change that mindset one airman at a time. Petty Officer Ben Larscheid, Misawa Air Base, Japan.
Finally, we stop in Iwakuni where Marines take it upon themselves to make sure everyone arrives at their destination safely. Corporal Leica Hitt tells us more about those who keep the streets safe.
Marine Corps Air Station Iwakuni's Provost Marshal's office does a little more than patrol the streets and guard gates.
Today we're out here just controlling traffic, trying to get traffic through here as fast as possible, but mainly safety for everybody crossing the road, make sure they can get across the road safely during rush hour. PMO
Marines pay particular attention to one age group while guiding traffic.
For safety of the children, there are times where you might have one run out and that driver might not see him. And with us wearing our safety vests and our wands, you stick out like a sore thumb, so they pay attention to us because we're paying attention to not just them, but we're paying attention to the kids as well. We're not distracted.
They look out for people crossing, they guide traffic, and they also have to look out for themselves. But they do it all with the mindset of helping people.
It's rewarding because you know you're out there, you're doing your job, and you're a person that cares. And everyone's always worried about, well, I wish someone would care. Well, we're the ones that care.
Reporting from Marine Corps Air Station Iwakuni, Japan, I'm Marine Corporal Leica Hitt.
That does it for this newscast. Follow us off the air on Facebook and Twitter at AFN Pacific Now. I'm Staff Sergeant Mike Larman, and from all of us here at AFN Pacific, thanks for watching.